Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about a recent job listing Atlas has just done and what in regards they mean with the implications of using the Unreal Engine in development for their future titles. In case you guys haven't known, the biggest jump between Persona games happened between Persona 4 and Persona 5. Now, what that means is there was a long time where they had to create a brand new engine to support the HD graphics that we have for Persona 5. If you take a look at the games like Persona 3, Persona 4, and then look at Persona 5, you can tell there's a very big difference in terms of what engine they are using. Not only is it graphics, but it's also the technical implications of what they have to do with building a brand new engine. They wanted to have a definitive game, which is what they said Persona 5 was going to be, so they had to use that new HD engine. However, with technology and how things are moving, things progress, and they're going to have to make more and more innovations when it comes to their games and with what they can do. Now, when it comes to the actual teams over at Persona and over at Atlas created team, their second department in production, also known as P Studio, over the Persona team. You guys might have seen this when you open up Persona 5, Persona 5 Royal, whatever. They had promoted of hiring a assistant technical artist job in a part-time capacity. There's some listings there for it. The role of the assistant technical artist is to support the designers, programmers, streamlining their work in the Persona team. But the thing that is standing out, which they are marking in this article and everybody's talking about, is that they are talking about wanting to use the Unreal Engine 4, which is not an engine that they have created. This is a third-party type of engine that a lot of games are actually used. They talk about how Epic Games used it, but realistically, lots of games actually use the Unreal Engine for their stuff. I even believe Kingdom Hearts 3 and a couple of the Kingdom Hearts games had recently adopted this, so this isn't the first time we're seeing Japanese developers start using things like the Unreal Engine, but they are wanting people to help them work on the games on the Unreal Engine 4. But this isn't the first time Atlas has done that. This is significant because they only announced a project in which Atlas has Unreal Engine is developed is the upcoming Shin Megami Tensei 5. That's the only one that they said they have used it so far on, which makes sense. It's their most furthest out title, so it makes sense that they are doing that. Back in October, the producer of Shin Megami Tensei 5 said they adopted the Unreal Engine 4 because it streamlined development considerably. So, with how long it takes them to get games going, this makes sense why they're actually wanting to use the Unreal Engine 4, because of the amount of time and development it takes. Persona and the whole Atlas team, Shin Megami Tensei, all of these games take a long time. The Atlas team is super small, maybe not as much as they were, a couple of years ago, but they are technically still a smaller team. The P Studio team working on the Persona games in specific, in the past, we have seen why they are making the P Studio team to just make the Persona games. It's because we have games like the Persona fighting games, the arena games. Those are all third-party developers that do that. Even some of the rhythm games are not made directly by Atlas or by P Studio. They are, given out to these third-party teams because they have no other way of making these games. They don't have enough developers. They don't have enough time to do something like that. They're constantly also remaking the engines that they have to use. That is why I think so many of the games are unique for how they are, is because of how they literally make their own engine for it, which is, nice, it's interesting, but the games take a long time to develop when you have to recreate the entire engine differently or build it differently from the ground up and have it different than what it used to be. They're always going to have to try and make the games better, so the engine's always going to have to be better, better than the last game was. If not, we're going to end up having games that look super similar, and we're never going to see a jump like Persona 4 to Persona 5, like we've seen with the HD, textures and everything else, and how the engine works, and just how well the game runs. Another bit here, it says, well, it's not certainly the new job listing could imply that Atlas currently has Persona game in development that will be using the Unreal Engine for the first time. Until now, the modern Persona games have used Atlas-owned property games engines, with Persona 5 Scramble using a custom engine by its co-developer, Koei Tecmo? I don't know how to say that. I always mess that up. People always give me shit for it. But anyway, they're talking about how there is a likelihood that the next Persona game will be, built on a different engine like the Unreal Engine 4. What I could see them doing is making a lot of the game in their current engines, but also using some of the Unreal Engine 4 as well, because Unreal Engine 4 is decently malleable and you can carry over assets that you have to that game. What I think they're going to be trying to do for something like Persona 6 possibly is using both of their engines, using a third-party one like the Unreal Engine 4 and using their own together, or using their current engine, putting it and integrating it somehow with the Unreal Engine 4 and using it like that. That's why they're doing these job listings. They want people to help them, you know, use the Unreal Engine 4. Shin Megami Tensei 5 is the only thing they have used it on so far, but who knows how much that, you know, actually is. It's not, you know, saying that they've used it for the entire time or it's the only engine they had used on Shin Megami Tensei 5, but there's a good chance that a majority of it might be, you know, made on the Unreal Engine. So we might see that for upcoming Atlus games where, you know, hopefully this doesn't hinder anything at all. If anything, this should speed up development, but hopefully it doesn't mean that it doesn't have its, you know, touch, its Atlus touch with their, you know, game engines. We could be honest and look at some of the past games and see just how broken the engines kind of were, how slow they were. They weren't super user-friendly. I'd say Persona 5 is the best streamlined, easy experience, you know, quality of life, I guess you could kind of say, when it comes to the game in terms of like how easy it is to use it. But some of the other games can be a little more complex, a little bit hard. I think that's one of the main reasons why JRPGs don't do so well in the West and other parts of the world, is because sometimes they're kind of hard to get into, and with brand new engines that are not familiar at all, it can be kind of hard to adjust to that in specific. So to Megami Tensei 5, Persona 6, we might see these titles come out and be fully fledged games used and made in the Unreal Engine 4 or just Unreal Engine in general. That's why they're hiring these people. They want people to come in, and there's actual requirements and things like that that you could see here. And you can also sign up to do that, I guess, yourself if you wanted to. I don't think they're going to take you if you're too far away, but either way, we might be seeing these new games all come out of the Unreal Engine. Who knows? Even with the Unreal Engine's help, we might possibly see some of these remasters maybe get put. I know a lot of people are talking about Persona 3 being remastered, and they want that game so bad. They want it on Steam and whatnot. I want all the games really to be easily accessible, but having more help with the Unreal Engine might be a quick way to also help remaster some of these games. It might be easier to actually clean them up in a brand new engine and make them a little more user friendly in a brand new engine, or an engine that at least streamlines the process and makes it a little bit easier. It sounds like here that they're trying to learn how to use this stuff and learn how to get these types of things done with a engine that's a little more streamlined, a little bit easier to use. But I think that's sort of going to wrap up this video, guys. Let me know, what do you think about this? Do you think this is a good idea? Should Atlus be doing this? Is this going to be bad? Is this going to be good for the development? Who really knows? We're just going to have to see what things look like exactly in terms of gameplay, in terms of graphics and what they look like. If what we've gotten so far and what we've seen in Shin Megami Tensei 5 is mostly just trailers, if that's all run in Unreal Engine, it looks good. I don't think there's anything you know, bad I could say about that yet. But to be fair, we haven't really seen any gameplay or anything at all about them using this Unreal Engine yet. They're just trying to get their feet wet, I think, with this whole thing. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this, see just where it goes exactly. But yeah, guys, subscribe for more content. I'll keep up to date on everything Shin Megami Tensei, Persona, everything like that in general. Just Atlus news, anime news, video game news. I'll keep you guys up to date. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.